Hey, everybody. Wanted to come live again because that cell that's just about to cross into Western Sabine Parish is looking pretty nasty. We don't have a tornado warning on it yet, but there's certainly some good rotation in that storm. Um, they're closely watching the cell near the front in Sabine County. That's Texas. I'm not saying the wrong thing. They added the tornado possible tag to it. So that just means that's another level up on the severe thunderstorm warning. So if you are in Western Sabine Parish, you want to keep an eye on this one. Let's take a look at the camera on this and see what we have there. Got the feedback going. Okay. And what I'm doing before I go to that is scanning a little bit of the sky on this just to see, exactly where I want to show you. But as of now, I don't see anything on the ground or anything like that. But I'm gonna let that catch up for a second. There's not much to see. I will say that. So that's good news for now. This is, I'll just get you, these are the locations impacted are Milam, Hemp Hill, Sexton, Rosevine, and Toledo Bend Reservoir North. That is for this warning that goes until 5. Let's see, it'll be on here. 5 o'clock. All right, so I just got the Slack chat up, and I'm watching everybody talking and all that good stuff, and we will see what we've got for you. But here, if you're along the lake, if you are north, if you're north of the Highway 6 area, that's where this is right now. So if you're north of Highway 6, that's where this storm is. Let's go through the last. I'm going to shorten this loop down to 30 minutes. Hit play and show you that we've seen a solid ramp up there. So as this heads in towards Zwally, you're going to want to be ready for this one, as this is a severe thunderstorm that has the look to it. There is your little hook on the backside here, that little inflow bump coming in there, and right around Milam, that area is where we are going to be watching closely to see any sort of misbehaving on this storm system. So elsewhere, we don't have any warnings right now. That is the only game in town. Had that brief warning on that cell in northwestern Vernon Parish. That has moved up toward the north, and it's not impacting, or not severe at this point. So let's go to the camera now. There is the camera out at Toledo, and yeah, you can see that rain-free base there. That's your updraft of the storm. Looking back in here, just there's low contrast, so it's really hard to see what's going on. You can see the dew point's down to 67, so 68 over 67. Still possible we see something in this cell for sure. Let me zoom in a little bit. Just want to see this area a little bit closer. And then I'm going to let it focus. Just takes it a second to focus. It's going to zoom in a bit over here. But yeah, we're at 68 over 67, so that temperature has definitely dropped a few degrees here in the last little bit. I'm going to actually tip this over a little to the left. It's acting a little funky right now, but probably having some internet issues. I believe this one is a Starlink, and when you get the real heavy rain, it can cause some problems there. So let me refresh, make sure I'm not just spinning like crazy. I'm going to get off the camera because it's acting silly, so I have to zoom out to get the focus fixed. But there is your severe thunderstorm warning that's going on for Western Sabine Parish. This is in effect until 5. I could see this being extended because this storm has strengthened as I've been watching it. Yeah, I'm just going to go with the big view for now. But looking down the Highway 6 bridge here, and there's a flood warning that just popped in. Looking down that Highway 6 bridge, that's where we're seeing the worst of this storm right now. So I'll zoom in and show you. There's Highway 6, and I'm looking at that area right now. It's still probably, let me see. I am looking about 8-9 miles away. I don't see a tornado, but I do see just some lower, a little bit of a lowering there, pretty much due west or a little bit north of due west. So let's look at the velocity on that thing and see what it's done. And it looks a little more ragged, so that's some good news for you. I'll look at the Shreveport radar. You know how we do it. Yeah, you can see why we do that, because there is a little bit different look to things here as we are just a little bit lower on the storm there. But you can see right through Milam, we had that, and then out west of Alliance, that's where the camera is, right there. Highway 6, Toledo Bend Alliance camera, that's what we call it. Let me go back over there. It looks a little interesting out west now, and I actually, before I do that, I'm going to zoom just a touch, see if I can. Whoops. Okay, so this is what we're seeing now. I'm going to go back to the camera. It'll zoom here in a second. And you can see what I'm going to zoom in on is right here. That area out there is what we're looking at. That's what's going to be moving over the lake here shortly. So, yeah, we're down there now. So, this area right here, kind of lowered and raggedy, and I'm a little bit ahead of this on my camera, so I'll see what's happening before. But that is just, as of now, some pretty creepy looking low-hanging clouds, but this is that severe thunderstorm warning that continues over Sabine Parish, Louisiana, Sabine County, Texas. Looks kind of nasty out there, but I do not see, at least at this point, anything that is reaching the ground all the way. Now, as this moves across the lake, it looked like it was in the stage where it could produce, but again, we're looking a little higher up in this storm, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on at the ground, so that's why we like to have this right here, so we can see what's going on at the ground. And looking on this left side here, I'm probably going to move this just a hair to the left. Just a little bit. And it's really just, I mean, that's just low-hanging scud. I don't see strong rotation or anything there. Yes, I know this is going to look like, you're going to see this in a minute where it looks like something's kind of on the ground, but these are just these little, like, tendrils that hang out at the bottom of the cloud, and they look scary, but are not necessarily, if they don't have rotation attached to them, then that's not a tornado. So I am looking at that closely, but I don't see anything. This is what I'm talking about. You see stuff like that. That you'll get pictures of that. Sometimes people are like, I saw a tornado. It's like, no, that's not. I mean, that's your lower hanging stuff. I'm looking more on this western left side of things, or southwestern side. But creepy ground scraping clouds, but nothing that I'm seeing that says there is a tornado on the ground with this. That might just be more frontal nastiness and things like that we're seeing. See, the winds are turned around to the north-northeast here. So that is actually some good news. I'm going to check another area of this storm, as that area we're looking at should be kind of fading out. That's more along the front. So I'm just kind of scanning the sky here. I'm seeing ahead of time what we're going to look at there. We're going to go back to radar, though, right now, because while that was a little creepy to look at, that is not imminently tornadic right there. No power in Tioga since 3. Come on. Oh, that's not good. All right, so that's what we were looking at there. Here's the storm we're looking at. I'm going to go to a different radar just to see what we have here. We have a surge of wind that's probably going to come across the lake, but that does not look like that's close to producing a tornado to me at this point. Right down in here along Highway 6. Again, that's that area we were looking at. So there was a little bit of spin there, but you know, fortunately we did not see anything that looked imminently dangerous. I'm going to just, you know, keep an eye on this one for sure as that severe thunderstorm warning continues, but I'm going to go and just moving the camera, making sure we're not missing anything, checking different sides of the storm. The thing I like seeing, though, is that temperature and dew point dropping. That means the front's through, so it's going to undercut this storm, and that's probably what we're seeing right now. Because right here, this where I clicked, that's where the camera is. That's where we're seeing the rotation. So that's back in the cooler air. Now, it's possible you have inflow that's coming in and maybe going to try to create something out of something like that. But at this point, I would think that's far enough behind the front to where the threat is lower, much lower than it was here a little while ago. So, severe thunderstorm warning continues until 5 o'clock. That is the area of rotation we're watching. If nothing else, there's a pretty solid surge of wind along the front as this comes across the lake there. And fortunately, not seeing any boats out there. But that's our one game in town right now. Looked like it was ramping up pretty decently as it was connected to that front. Let's see, I think did we get an update to the warning? 4 minutes ago. Severe thunderstorm warning for the storm located near Milam, or 26 miles southeast of Center, Texas, moving northeast at 45. Hazard is 60-mile-per-hour winds and possibly some hail to the size of quarters. We've got that camera, and if you want to see, I just realized this. That camera, that you'll see it moving all over the place. That's me playing with that camera up there and just kind of scanning the sky. I forgot that I actually have that kind of permanently affixed into the show here, so that's good. You can always have that Toledo camera up there. Show us what's going on up that way. Looks like the rain is getting to this site right now, and that is going to obscure things pretty quickly. The birds don't know what's hitting them. All right, and again, you're gonna see that above my head when I'm moving. It'll be about a 20-second lag, but fortunately I can see this. So if we did have, say we had a tornado that was showing up live on this, I would go to my live feed that's not delayed at all, and it just gets delayed in translation across, getting this through so many servers and whatever. But if this happens, I'll pull up my other screen here and you'll be able to see it. So do not sweat that. We will definitely keep that at the forefront of what we're looking at. Windy in Oakdale with a touch of rain earlier. Yep. The time frame still kind of looks the same. I think it's starting now. It's going to start out west, as we're seeing, and then that's going to move across from west to east. So probably evening. Getting out of here by about midnight. Alexandria, if you're around Alexandria, Pineville, Grant Parish, I probably would say like 7 to 11 is our worst for this system. Let's go back to regular old reflectivity. And here's what's happening. There's your cold front. There are the storms lined up right along it. And at this point, it looks like a lot of these are kind of behind that. These things out ahead are what we're going to really have to watch. But if I'm seeing more of these behind the front, that is a great thing. That means we're going to see some possible maybe a brief spin up or something like that, but that would keep us away from the stronger tornadoes. If we see things forming out ahead of that front where they can tap into this open, unimpeded warm sector with all this instability, well, that's when we can see some bigger problems. So this storm heading up toward Florine, not seeing anything with it right now, but that is the type of storm that we could see grow fairly quickly. So that is what we have there. Why is this out of focus? Oh, because it just got crazy and rained. I'm going to put this back on just the regular bridge view. Yep. It's just raining and windy now. Looks like those winds are coming straight out of the northwest down the lake, and they're not. Yeah, we're going to get some big old swells out of that thing. So with that being our only severe thunderstorm warning, I'm not sure how long I'll stick with this one, because I came back on, I saw that this was possibly going to do something, and I wanted to be here live if we saw that thing continue to wrap up. But so far, so good, not seeing that happening. We're going to look at the lake chart. We're going to go to every radar. There's your broad rotation right there west of the camera site on Toledo Bend, which is on the bridge on the Louisiana side. Not seeing any real strong rotation there in the lower levels, and not seeing that here. So some good news, as this storm looks like it is severe. It is going to produce some strong winds and possibly some hail, but I'm not seeing that as a imminent tornado threat. Reflectivity, we're going to loop this for an hour. Let's do that and show you the last hour. There's your storms kind of lining up there. It's going to take, there's not a strong push to get this through, so you can see how these storms are moving kind of along the line, slowly east, but individual cells moving to the northeast. Eventually, as that upper feature pushes out, this is all going to push across the area, but we're just kind of getting started here with this. Already a couple of severe warnings, but no tornado warnings, and at this point, no tornado watch. I'm going to see if there have been any new discussions while I've been sitting here analyzing radar and everything. Looks like a new tornado watch up to the northeast from Yazoo City back in toward Lake Providence, Richland, those areas. But for us locally, no tornado watch, and as of now, I don't see a discussion about that matter. So some at least delayed good news here. We're going to see no threat or limited threat for the next hour or two here east of the watch. But if you're in that tornado watch right now, that's going to be more of an imminent threat for you. We have that severe thunderstorm warning going until 5. That's 2 more minutes, and then we will see what they decide to do with that. And then I'll decide what I'm doing. I'll probably be going unless this thing decides to jump up again. But I mean, I say that, it's moving out of our area. It's going to be moving up there toward Mansfield, and then eventually Red River, DeSoto Parish going to get hit by this. Flood warnings going on. Let me show you one thing here while we're waiting out this warning. I'm going to show you, let's see, the last 24 hours, and let's go with I'm going to go last 120. So up to the north, again, Shreveport, in these yellow areas, that's where we've seen, 3, 3.5, 2 to 4 inches of rainfall. So flood warnings here because it's been raining a lot and they're getting the heavy rain now. Texarkana, I mean 7.5. Up here into Arkansas, it's over 10. You can't see it, but trust me, it is very, very wet and waterlogged. There's going to be a lot of downstream flooding for this area as we get into next week. So if the weather gets calm, but we're going to see the Mississippi River and its watershed come up, and then the Red River possibly could do the same. So I will be updating that. That's going to be my main story, as there's not going to be a lot of weather to talk about over the next week or so. And I don't hear many complaints on that one because it's been pretty darn active here, and it's been way worse to the north. But as I was saying, up here to the northwest, way behind the front, you can still get a severe thunderstorm. This one had to be a little hail threat or something up there in southeast Arkansas or southwest Arkansas. And yeah, now it's gone, but that's what is still possible behind the front by 100 miles. So the tornado threat will go away once that front clears your area, once you see temperatures cool into the low 60s, but you will still have the potential for some large damaging hail out of these storms as this system comes on through. Timing in Alexandria, I think the worst is about 8 to 11. We'll have scattered stuff out ahead of this. We've already been kind of seeing that. There's just your lighter rains. It's pretty capped right now. We have some warmer layers in the upper levels. We need it to cool off if we want to see severe weather. We don't. But if that's what you need to get these severe storms to pop, you need the cap to go away. And it's not a very stout cap, but I would say that it's enough. It's doing the job. And we're hoping that it keeps these things down here looking raggedy and nasty and no rotation, no organization to them. That's the goal. But as they feed into that front, that's where we could see at least some brief spin-ups. And I'll be watching down the line as well. But it looks like we even lost our severe thunderstorm warning on that, so I will go away for now, put my feet up for a bit, and do a little radar watching. Have a wonderful, probably next half hour, and I'll see you soon.
No matter the weather, Alexandria Emergency Hospital is always here for you. Rain or shine, our doors are open 24/7 to provide the care you and your loved ones need fast. Every second counts, and Alexandria